Police say a mother and her 3 children found dead inside of a burning home this week in Indiana all had gunshot wounds, adding there is no threat to the public. It happened in Madison, Indiana. Investigators identified the family members as 35-year-old Naomi Briner, 12-year-old Adelia, 8-year-old Leland, and then 6-year-old Isla Briner. All 4 were found dead in their home on Telegraph Hill Road around 4 Tuesday afternoon. Our Ian Hardwick went to Madison to speak with neighbors who say they are shocked and heartbroken.
It's sad. It's sad. And what makes it even worse is Christmas time.
Traces of a holiday that could have been remain near a home where 4 bodies were discovered. It's hard to fathom for neighbor Carol Woodfill.
There's no words.
Investigators are searching the burnt home on East Telegraph Road, just up the hill right outside Madison. The Indiana State Fire Marshal is determining the cause of the fire, sifting through the rubble. State police are on the death investigation. Emergency responders arrived here shortly after 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Firefighters found the bodies inside the burning building. Woodfill believes it was a mother and her 3 children.
You know, when we was having this good weather, they were out there in the driveway just jumping and kids, you know, playing.
She knows it's a tragedy that extends beyond her own street.
It's the whole family. It's the friends, the acquaintances, and everybody that's suffering.
In Jefferson County, Indiana, Ian Hardwick, WHAS11. On your side.
Police are still working with Indiana fire marshals to determine how that fire was started. Well, first responders also responded to a fire in New Albany last night, not too far from the historic Culbertson mansion. It happened around 8 o'clock on the 800 block of East Main Street. We have not heard of any injuries. No one was in the home at the time, and there was no damage to the historic site. And right now, the Louisville Fire Department is looking into what caused a fire at an abandoned home in West Louisville. It ignited just before 8 yesterday morning at 24th and Chestnut Streets. Louisville Fire said it took about 30 minutes to gain control. Taking a closer look at fire safety, half of all home heating fires occur from December to February, and 1 in 7 home fires involved heating equipment. Make sure to keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet from a heat source and test your fire and carbon monoxide alarms at least once a month. New here at noon, Louisville Metro police officers have arrested several juveniles after a series of carjackings. An LMPD spokesperson said the crimes began late last night and continued into the morning. The carjackings were in the 6th, 7th, and 8th divisions. That's all southeast and eastern Jefferson County. Police said the suspects were arrested when one of the stolen cars they were driving crashed into a church at 26th and Oak Street. Officers were able to find several of the stolen cars. Anyone with information about these carjackings is asked to call that anonymous tip line on your screen at 574-LMPD or leave a tip on the department's online portal. More witnesses will take the stand today in the triple homicide trial of Bryce Rhodes. In court Wednesday, one of the teenagers already convicted of killing 2 teen boys in 2016 took the stand. Anwan Carter was 15 when those murders happened.
Who was he shooting at?
Somebody in the street.
Christopher Jones was later identified as that man Carter was asked about. According to Carter, Rhodes found out teens Larry Ordway and Maurice Gordon told their mother about Rhodes killing Jones. Well, Carter also said Rhodes made the group of boys vote if Ordway and Gordon should die. Once they voted, Rhodes is said to have stabbed the teen brothers and made everyone do the same. Anwan Carter is one of 3 co-defendants in this case who've already pleaded guilty to the murders. 18-year-old Ranna Taylor took a plea deal in 2018 and was sentenced to 10 years. Tyron Coleman admitted to helping facilitate the murders. He was sentenced to 10 years as well after the grandmothers of the victims swayed the judge with emotional testimony at his sentencing. Federal prosecutors intend to retry former LMPD officer Brett Hankison. Nearly a month ago, a judge declared a mistrial. Hankison is accused of violating the civil rights of Ranna Taylor the night she died. A new trial could take some time, though. Our Isaiah Kim Martinez explains the new timeline for the case.
Mistrial is not an acquittal.
They were the words of optimism from Lanita Baker, Breonna Taylor's family attorney, following a mistrial in the federal civil rights case against Brett Hankison. That was November 16th. Now, nearly a month later, federal prosecutors telling Judge Rebecca Grady Jennings Wednesday they intend to try the former LMPD detective once more.
And it's the type of case that ultimately a jury needs to decide.
In a virtual status hearing with attorneys and Hankison himself on the call, Judge Jennings voiced her desire to get a second trial going as soon as possible, discussing possibilities for June, July, or September of next year, but because of scheduling conflicts, a tentative date is set for October. Another major development, we learned Brett Hankison is considering shaking up his defense team or hiring a new counsel altogether. That's according to his attorneys themselves. Nick Mudd is a former prosecutor with the Commonwealth Attorney's Office.
Certainly, it is very uncommon for attorneys to be switched out, especially in between trials.
He isn't associated with this case, but has provided us perspective.
I think it's fair to assume there had to be something that happened during the course of that last trial that he was not satisfied with or didn't think they pushed hard enough on.
Hankison is charged with violating Taylor's civil rights and using excessive force when firing shots into her apartment and that of her neighbors during that overnight raid in 2020. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS11 on your side.
Attorneys are set to meet again virtually on January 24th. That's when they'll finalize Hankison's defense team and decide the next steps, including whether the retrial can happen sooner than October. This afternoon, Brooks Hawks is in a different jail. He's the man accused of killing Crystal Rogers. We learned yesterday he was moved from the Hardin County Detention Center to Oldham County. Jail records show no new charges, and he remains in custody on that $10 million bond. Oldham County houses both state and federal inmates awaiting trial. An hour from now, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg will announce who will operate the future community care campus. The project is set to provide much needed resources for those experiencing homelessness in the metro. 3 organizations were considered, from Norton Healthcare, Volunteers of America Mid-States, and Addiction Recovery Care. It is a big task for whichever organization takes the reins, and the campus itself will include family housing, a medical space, and safe outdoor space, all on the campus located between Breckenridge, Brook, and College Streets. Mayor Greenberg said back in January the project is in the perfect part of town to be a hub for organizations and those needing help.
The proximity to the downtown medical campus, the proximity to the other part of the block that the city already owns, that this would be the ideal location.
Earlier this year, the mayor asked the state for about $22 million to help fund the renovations. The decision on which organization will take control of the center is expected at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Kentucky Senate Majority Floor Leader Damon Thayer will not seek re-election next year. The 56-year-old Republican from Georgetown has spent 22 years in the Senate and 12 as the Majority Floor Leader. Thayer represents the Commonwealth's 17th district, which includes parts of Kenton, Grant, and Scott counties. His term will conclude in December of 2024.